of liberals who might have some of the arguments in here, and Mark Bray's like, yeah, like, if that's what you think, then I don't know what to tell you other than, like, my values are different. There were a couple of points where not necessarily where I disagreed, but where I was left wanting a little bit more. So, for instance, contemporary fascism, as you may well know, leans hard on white supremacy. And so, for my money, like, understanding how white supremacy works and like what it is ideologically is an important part of sort of understanding fascism today. And so this video I'm doing is going to have a whole section of like, this is what white supremacy is and this is how it works and this is why it's wrong. And this book does have a conclusion on whiteness. It's sort of 10-15 pages on whiteness, the idea, and white supremacy. But it's quite quick. It's just the conclusion of the book, and it's like, this is what some authors have said about it, and here's a list of texts, and I basically kind of co-sign this. And it's like, I could have done with just a little bit more on that. That might have been nice. The arguments he addresses and touches on are, for the most part, arguments that somebody could make in good faith. But he's got less to say about these are the arguments that people make in bad faith. Maybe it's just the particular corner of the internet that I inhabit, but it might have been nice to see a little bit more about, like, this is the propaganda about Antifa, like, don't listen to this stuff because this is just like lies. I see some of that stuff going around, but again, maybe that's just a bit of the internet that I kind of do my work on. I think Mark Bray sort of goes on news programs a lot of the time where he's probably not got, like, I don't know, like Trevor McDonald or Hugh Edwards or anybody, like, shouting Nazi memes at him, you know? I mean, I hope not. Something else I might have liked to see it spend a little more time on is diving into what fascism is and how it appeals, sort of related to the whiteness and the white supremacy stuff, is like, what is it today? Because it starts with, this is what fascism is, but that's still quite quick. There's a quote from historian Robert Paxton, which is the same quote that's going to be in my video as well, but it doesn't quite delve into what that means off the page and in practice. It does have an important distinction in there, which I think is a cool one, between fascism and fascistic politics, which I think is quite a useful distinction to make, although, yeah, it might have just been nice to just spend a little more time on that, just dig a little bit deeper. I said earlier on it's more of an anti-fascist biography than an anti-fascist handbook, which is what it's billed as. I stand by that. It does have an appendix at the end where it's got advice from all the different anti-fascists he spoke to and interviewed for somebody if they were thinking about getting involved in anti-fascism, like, this is what you might need, and this is where we went wrong, and this is the kind of lessons that we had to learn, and that's very cool and interesting. So overall, yeah, it's pretty good. It's honest, it lays it all out on the line, it's easy to read. I'd say it's sort of mainly pitched at a kind of liberal audience. I mean, a left-wing audience would sort of presumably be familiar with some of this stuff already, but if you're sort of one of those people that's like, oh, like Antifa, like I don't like fascism, but like, oh, really, I don't really know what this is about, then I'd say this is a cool book to check out. If you're going into this with a spirit of curiosity, then this will be good. Obviously, if you're going into this with the spirit of, well, yeah, let's see what they've got to say about this, what, history, what, Hitler, what, like, you know, then that's not going to do it for you. But if you're going into it like, okay, I don't know, let's sort of gather some opinions and do research, which is what I was doing, then I'd say it's a pretty good tool. I'll put a link in the description if you want to pick up a copy of it and check it out for yourself. Obviously, my Philosophy of Antifa video is hopefully going to be coming before the end of the year. Kind of, I'm almost finished writing it, and then I've got to film it, which is going to be a mammoth job, and then edit it, which is going to be an even more mammoth job. So that's coming soon to a video platform near you, and I will put money on the fact that it will be instantly demonetized by YouTube. YouTube will be like, you are not making any advertising money off this, because it's like controversial topics, which we're not allowed to put adverts on, so fair enough, YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in whatever I make next. Bye!